It never ceases to amaze me how some motorcycle manufacturers can churn out a premium machine and not have adjustable damping on the suspension. Like, I know why some do it, and it's a bit like cars. It's like, well, look, this is the characteristic we're giving this bike, whether it's kind of firm and sporty or soft and splodgy, and that's one of their defining characters of the bike. But there's some bikes that it just doesn't suit. I can't fathom for the life of me why someone like Honda would produce an NT1100 without adjustable damping on the suspension. Now, they've got preload adjust, that's great, that's all fine, and we can adjust for load and all that sort of stuff. But the damping characteristics of that bike, that's what you get, finished. So you see a lot of the reviews on that bike, a lot of people are saying that's quite a firm bike when you're riding solo. Now, that will get a bit softer then, or feel a bit softer, a bit more comfortable by the time you take a pillion and two up, because the more weight, the more you tax that damping, that fixed damping setup, and you'll get through your suspension stroke a bit more. So hopefully it should feel a bit nicer two up than solo. But before I bought a DCT on one of those, the first thing I'd do is change out the rear shock for, I don't know, a Nitron or a Wilbers with adjustable suspension, you know, built for me in a pillion if I wanted to take a pillion and all that sort of stuff. I think it's criminal that they don't have adjustable suspension on the back. But anyway. So why do manufacturers still produce bikes, big bikes, like this bike, with no adjustable damping? Well, it's because most people don't bloody touch it. It's like, you know, oh yeah, I'll just, what's that? No, I like it how the manufacturer did it. I won't change that. Oh, maybe I'll get a screwdriver. Don't touch that fucking preload, Jesus. Compression, yeah. Be fine. Yeah, people like Honda, and I'm picking on Honda, but lots of other manufacturers as well. They've got to make a bike that they can sell, so they've got to make it for a price. So what's the first thing that goes? The niceties. Having adjustable damping on a motorbike is wonderful. You can make your bike be all sorts of things with adjustable damping. So before you choose your new motorbike, just decide, do you want one with adjustable damping or not? Make that one of your main criteria. Make it a big criteria, because it can change completely the way your motorbike rides and handles. Bit like the Tiger 900 I had the other day. You can make that like a cruiser Luxo barge or a firm and sporty bike, just because a screwdriver, 30 seconds later, I can adjust that suspension. Or if I'm going two up somewhere, I can firm up that damping and have a nice ride for my pillion. Buying another bike without adjustable damping? Think wisely. Now, it might be perfectly all right. I ride a little CB125F occasionally. It's absolutely bloody brilliant for what it's to do, you know, a little commute to work here and there, that sort of thing. You don't need all the fancy adjustable stuff on that. You're looking for cheapness, reliability, fuel economy, all that sort of stuff. But on a big premium bike, I think it's criminal that they don't have adjustable suspension. Well, yeah, oh, okay, it's not criminal. Yeah, I know, they're a Honda, yeah, they're a private company. They can do what they want. They don't have to put adjustable damping on their bikes. It's not a crime. It just feels like a crime. All right, yeah, it's not a crime. Obviously, though, obviously, if you test drive that bike and you like it and it suits you, then it's not a big deal that you don't have adjustable damping. But it does mean, before you buy a bike, test ride it, because once you bought it and you find, oh, that ride's a bit choppy, it's never going to be anything but choppy until you change the suspension out. And you don't want to be mucking around with all that crap. You just want to ride the bloody bike, not get it to a suspension specialist to get right for you. I can see the comment section now. I have a CB500X and I find the damping perfect, absolutely brilliant for all conditions. I absolutely agree with you. You can find that. You can find that for you. But the next guy or gal might absolutely bloody hate it. And don't forget, when they set up a bike and they set up the damping on a bike, they're setting it up for a specific kind of weight, an average, Mr. and Mrs. Average kind of weight. You're heavier than that, that bike's going to feel a bit softer. You're lighter than that, that bike's going to feel a bit firmer. So that's why it's nice, actually, where you get vloggers who tell you how heavy they are. And if they say, geez, this bike's firm, you can bet your bottom dollar, if you're a regular weight, a lighter weight, you're going to find it really firm. The heavier you are, the more you're going to push that suspension, the more you're going to push that travel, and it's going to feel a bit plusher than it is for a regular weight rider. So specifically me actually being an overweight rider, it's great to have adjustable damping. I actually add a bit more damping because I tax my suspension too much. Now I refrain from using the word fat git to keep it clean. And listen here, shit, I'm 60 next weekend. I need my creature comforts. And this can be a little bit taxing on the old back. So that's why I need a comfy bike. So most of the time, I'd like to ride a bike with fairly light level of damping and nice bit of travel on the bike, a comfortable kind of ride. But often as well, I like a bit more of a spirited ride, still, you know, reasonable, not some nutter sort of geezer. And I like to firm up the suspension. If you don't have adjustable damping, you can't do that. You can't do that. Adjustable damping gives your bike a huge amount of character. Or what I should say, it makes its character that wide. Every bike without adjustable damping, that's its character, that's its character, that's its character. A bike with adjustable damping, that's its character. And if you want, like, you know, multiple bikes in one, buy a bike with adjustable damping if you can. And don't worry about having a bike with full electronic suspension, something like this. Just a bike with manually adjustable damping will be perfectly fine. Screwdriver, and there'll be one in the toolkit, and you'll have your damping changed in seconds. Don't bother watching a million damping videos or suspension setup videos by experts and all that sort of shit. Just go to your owner manual. And your owner manual, if your bike comes with adjustable damping, will give you some example settings to stick your damping for a kind of comfortable ride or a sporty ride, or where to set it if you're going two up with a pillion. It's there. It's a screwdriver, a twist of a thing. You don't need to get in depth and fully understand what it is you're doing. Just go to your owner's manual of your bike with adjustable damping and your bike will be a chameleon. What does it take to adjust the damping on your bike? Well, on a manually adjustable bike, it's just a flat blade screwdriver, really, usually. There we are. I'm increasing the damping on that fork. Just get your manual and look at some of the recommended settings. Geez, I better put that back now because I'll never remember. I have this set up just for me. Same with the rear shock. Most often, right, you just have a screw here on the bottom of the rear shock, to increase or decrease the damping. Now in this case, I've got a Wilbur shock on this, so I just have a little damping wheel. Oh God, I've got my fingers dirty. Look, that's how it is. Easy to make my bike more comfortable or kind of more sporty. 30 seconds, front and rear, you're done. So what sort of bikes come with adjustable damping? I mean, like, lots don't. Why don't some bikes come with adjustable damping? Well, it's because a lot of manufacturers have a bike for a single purpose. This CB1100, that's for bimbling down a country road on a weekend. It's not for doing 500 mile a day tours. That's for fucking sure. me back. So they're thinking, look, this bike is single purpose. It's to bimble around a country lane. That is it, really. You know, yeah, you see owners stick a big big windscreen on the front, some pennies on the back. I'm telling you, martyrs. So me ragging on this CB1100 really, because it's, you know, well, for me, it's a bit of a weekend bike, or actually maybe even a bit of a day bike. Not having adjustable damping isn't at the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. But if I was doing long distances on it, 2 up with luggage, it's a terrible bike for it. It's a terrible bike for it. You just wouldn't do it. You just wouldn't do it. So, bikes that tend to come with adjustable damping tend to be Tourers or sports bikes where you like that Daytona over there, because they're expecting you to want to tune that suspension to exactly how you want it. But it's usually the bigger Tourers, and that is because the load on those bikes can be massively different. So one day it might be you, the next day it might be you and your pillion, the next day it might be you and your pillion and luggage. I mean, God, this aluminium, I'm sitting on one of these aluminium boxes here, look. These friggin' boxes with all the panniers and shit like that, and the top box and the carrier plates, 38 kilos, according to SW Motec, 38 kilos. So you stick your luggage, and that's them empty. You stick your luggage on your bike, that's an extra sort of, I don't know, 50 kilos sitting right over that back wheel. That adjustable damping is to take that into account, and the pillion. So this is why a lot of touring bikes have adjustable damping. That's why I think it's a bit odd the NT1100 doesn't have adjustable damping, at least on the rear, but you can do something about that, but it's a shame you have to. No, I don't have it in for the NT1100. It's just a really odd bike. It's a fantastic bike. It looks okay, that's whether you like that or not. It's a fantastic bike. Comfortable ergonomically. I sat on it actually. I sat on that at the show in the NEC. It's quite comfortable ergo-wise. But for something that could have such a varying load in terms of luggage and passenger and stuff like that, not having a shock that you can adjust the damping on the rear at least, seems well out of kilter for something that's going to have a big change of load. I might not use that bit because I'm hitting on the NT1100 a bit. Yeah. Planning on going places on your bike? Okay. If you've got a Royal Enfield 650, you can be the bloody martyr and do 500 miles a day in a Royal Enfield 650 if you want. I'm picking that bike out just because it's a popular bike. But it'd be an awful bike to do any big mileage on. So if you plan on doing decent mileage on your bike, and it's not just a weekend thing, find one with adjustable damping. Don't take one without adjustable damping. You want to make that exactly for you. It will make a huge difference to your trip. So while I was making this video, I got a text in from John from Sidcup. I have a Versys 650 and me and my bird and all our luggage think the suspension is perfect. Well, John, that's because you don't know any different. Try a bike with adjustable damping and you'll find it much better. Now, I do understand that most mid-range bikes don't have adjustable suspension and we have to live with what we get. But again, I also say this to say, look, make sure you test drive a bike if it doesn't come with adjustable damping, because once you bought it, you can do bloody nothing about the ride. Oh, we have another text coming in from Jim from Edinburgh. I can't repeat that, Jim, but I'm definitely not. I'm telling you, I'm definitely not. So does not having adjustable damping mean you can't get a sharp ride on your bike? No, absolutely not. And my next video is going to be about preload and just preload bikes. It doesn't mean that at all. And my parting shot, if you've got a bike with adjustable damping and you've never bloody adjusted it, oh, you're in for a treat. You don't know what you missed. You're going to absolutely bloody love it when you start mucking around with that. That crown really sticks out, doesn't it? Yeah, it's done that for years. Not having a rear adjustable damper, not having a damping adjustable. Fuck me backwards. I won't mention adjustable damping once more, or the Honda NT1100, I promise. I got a text in from John while I was making the video, and he says, what did he say? I have a Kawasaki Versys 650 and the suspension is perfect for me and my bird and all our luggage. Yeah, fuck off. No, it isn't.